Hey everyone, I'm back and today we're going to be talking about Won't You Be My Neighbor? And this movie came out in 2018 and it's a documentary about Mr. Rogers and like his career and what he was trying to do, and also kind of focuses on like his life a little bit. And I thought this movie was pretty good and I liked what it explored, and it was really interesting, and I did feel as though I got a decent amount out of it. And the parts that I really enjoyed about this movie was the stuff in the middle and when it ended. And those were my favorite parts of the movie, and that's where it really kept me engaged, and I was learning quite a bit. And I liked learning a lot about Mr. Rogers, and like one thing that I never knew was he originally kind of wanted to stop doing Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and to just go on to, like, I think it was called Old Friends, New Friends, I think it was called. But that wasn't being very successful. And then he eventually went back to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And he also wanted to really teach kids lessons, like, in terms of, like, what's going on in the real world, and really help them learn certain things. And also, the reason why he went back to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, from what the documentary showed, was that he noticed that there was a movie called Superman the Movie, and a lot of kids were misled into believing that they could fly, and they were trying to fly, and some of them got really injured, and there was a lot of drama with that, and he decided to go back on the show to like teach kids that, like, no, you're not going to be able to fly because it's like movie magic or something. I haven't seen that episode where he talked about that, but the movie kind of touches on that. And if I'm going to complain about anything, there were just some things that I wish that some other things that the movie would have touched on. It would have been like kind of fan servicey a little bit, but from what I know, because my mom was very much aware about what he was doing, and she learned that Mr. Rogers took kids on like a field trip to like learn how crayons were made, and like all these other different things that the movie never touched on, unfortunately. But if it did, it was like so brief that like I don't remember it. But it was mostly like about the show and like the struggles of making that, and him like really relating to his puppets, and Daniel was like the puppet that he kind of related to the most, and was like his puppet. And like, and what I mean by his puppet is as in like that was like Mr. Rogers, like his who he like actually was. And over time he just became King Friday the 13th. I think that's what the puppet was named. And there were lots of things that were really interesting, and the music in the movie, I thought it was fine, and there were some song choices that I kind of liked. But in terms of the music, there wasn't anything super memorable to me, and they show a lot of clips of Mr. Rogers like doing his show, and that's the most you get out of it in terms of like learning who he was. And like the documentary also interviews people that he worked with and like his family, and I thought that was interesting, like what they had to say. And that's about all that happens in the documentary, just Mr. Rogers and trying to make a show, and like the origins of how it came into what it is. And it touches on what he was like as a kid, like you weren't allowed to express your anger. And it does give like some insight as to who he was, and I found that very interesting. And it's just a good movie overall, and I would recommend that you check this movie out. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Won't You Be My Neighbor a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Wouldn't You Be My Neighbor, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for G.I. Jane. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.